Good morning, everybody. Kenny here. Tim Talks Talkies. It's a great channel, by the way. I highly recommend it. Tim does a great job. He knows a lot about movies. He's doing a thing. Bet your top 25 movies of the 90s. Um, it's very interesting, very hard to narrow it down. I already sent my list in to Tim, but I just wanted to put it on my channel so you guys could check it out too to see if mine agree with yours. Unlike Tim, I'm more comedy guy than act. Well, I love action movies, but my list has a lot of comedies on it. So I'll just start. Number 25 is T2. I am a fan of that, but I am not as a huge fan of it as many other ones. I still like the Terminator, and my favorite Arnold movie is The Running Man. I just was a place in my life where it was all good, and we would in the kitchen we would recite the one liners from you know from The Running Man. It's just a great movie. It holds a special place for me. Number 24, I'm a big Steven Seagal fan. 90s Steven Seagal, not the crap, that he's in 3 minutes now and his voice is overdubbed. So number 24, you'll be seeing more Steve on this list, is Under Siege. Number 23, I love Westerns, and I think, in my opinion, one of the best Westerns ever was Unforgiven. I have that as 23. I had a problem with not putting Tombstone on this list. Tombstone is not on this list, but yeah, you'll understand why when you're going along. Number 22 is Ed Wood. Love Ed Wood. I think it's hilarious. Johnny Depp is such a great actor. He's so versatile. He can do anything. Number 21 and 20. Number 21 is Ace Ventura. I just love that movie. I still laugh at it 30 years later. And number 20 is Dumb and Dumber. It still makes me the hamburger scene with the pepper, that just floors me every time I watch it. Number 19, another thing you'll see a trend on, my girl Sandra. Speed is number 19. Love that movie. Your second introduction to Sandra, of course, 95's Demolition Man. I know that made Tim's list, but it didn't make my list. Number 18, Tommy Boy. One of the hands down funniest comedies. I'm not kidding you, I've seen that over like 500 times. It's just like funny. Number 17, another comedy that I've watched so many times. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is just like so funny. It just makes me laugh every time, and Bill Murray was so good in that. Another comedy, number 16, Doc Hollywood. This is when Michael started getting sick. I still, to this day, hold that. I think if Michael J. Fox didn't get sick, I think had won an Oscar. Because he was so good, especially was so good. And here's another one, The Good President, with Michael Douglas and Annette Bening. I think that's the right title. The American President, I'm sorry. Yes, but that's such a beautiful movie. It's so good. Number 15, one that we watched over and over and over again, and the bloopers are so funny. Grumpy Old Men. You can't get any better than Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. Number 14, this is a wild card for me, and this is my favorite movie of his is Uncle Buck. I've watched that probably like 1,000 times, probably just this year alone. But I think his best acting role was in this movie called Only the Lonely. It desperately needs a Blu-ray release because I just love it. I had it on Laserdisc, and I have it on DVD somewhere in there. It's just a beautiful movie. Number 13, one of my personal favorites. Me and my mom used to watch this all the time and just like laugh out loud. Out to Sea with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. Absolutely love that movie. That's another one that needs a Blu-ray release. You can't really find a DVD that often. Number 12, another comedy, Birdcage. I can't tell you how many times I've watched that and just bawled out laughing. It's just so funny, especially when he's like, when Rob Williams talks about, how about that game? How about those Bears? And he goes, oh, I was mortified. It just makes me laugh. Number 11, here's another wild card that probably a lot of you don't have on the list. Sabrina, 1995 movie with Julia Ormond and Harrison Ford. I love Julia Ormond. Next to Sandra is Julia Ormond. Absolutely gorgeous. Speechless. It was a beautiful movie. It was a great movie to watch. I just loved it. Here's my top 10. Number 10, the second Kevin Smith movie, Mallrats. Love this movie. We've seen it in the theaters. We laughed our butts off. It still holds up. I just watched it last week again. It's so funny. Number 9, the original Clerks. It's anybody who has worked in the service industry can feel for these people. You know these people. You've worked with these people. And I've worked with hundreds of Randalls and Dantes in my life. So it's just so funny. Just the little things and the whole Star Wars rants and just, it's really inside. Number 8, Silence of the Lambs. What can you say about that? It's almost a perfect movie. Number 7, Pulp Fiction. Love Pulp Fiction. Seen that in the movies. I remember seeing that in the movies, and my buddy goes, what the hell's going on with this movie? So, yeah. Number 6, let me see if I can read that. Oh, Steven Seagal, Hard to Kill. Love Hard to Kill. Kelly LeBrock. It's just so good. And there's, I'm going to take you to the bank. The blood bank. It's just so much fun. Number 4. This is my favorite Sandra Bullock movie. While You Were Sleeping. I love While You Were Sleeping. It's just a great movie. I know Miss Congeniality is great too, and I love that. But is that 99 or 2000? I think that was 2000, or that would have made the top 5. Miss Congeniality. But While You Were Sleeping, I just love the movie. Great story. It's just, and Sandra is just, don't get me started with her. Number 3. This is my favorite Steven Seagal movie. Number 3, Out for Justice. Now, everybody likes Above the Law or Hard to Kill, which I just mentioned. But Out for Justice, the pool room scene. Anybody see Richie? I'm looking for Richie. Come on, that's a great scene. This is your prize, and he's holding his badge. That's just so great. It's just good. Number 2 is Goodfellas. It's probably the most perfect mob movie out there that you can get. You know all the characters, you can feel for them, and it's a perfect movie. How it lost to Dances with Wolves, I'll never understand. I don't know. And my number 1, my personal favorite movie, I've watched this so many times, and this is another one that needs a Blu-ray release desperately, and it's hard to find. I believe it's out of print. I bought it on DVD when it first came out. A Bronx Tale. That's my number 1 movie. I just love it. You get to know the people. You can feel for the people. You can feel for Robert De Niro's character. It's just, and the little boy is so good. Francis Capra, he is so good. Kalojido's very good when it's just a great movie, and you just feel for that, you feel for the father, and, see you around, Sonny, the part where he goes, Sonny had 5 fingers, but he only used 3. It's just a great movie, and I put it on at least once a month just to watch it. So, Let me know in the comments what you think. They're my top 25. I know I'm missing a lot of good movies, but hey, it's my personal favorite. These are movies that I watch all the time, and not just saying, they're award winners and stuff, but these are my personal favorite movies of the 90s. I left a couple out, like, I love Tombstone. I really love Tombstone, but I had to put T2 in there because I've watched that so many times. I've watched that more times than Tombstone. So, well, tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, hit the comment button, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. Bye-bye.